Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Y'all see Cinnamon Sugar. So I am going to be reclined back on my sofa. So I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna lean back. I just have one of my little robes, my house robes, draped over me. So you're just gonna see a big old cloud of pink in a few minutes throughout this video. This is going to be a serious video. I am going to talk to y'all about some things, and I have no idea it might help somebody because apparently lately a lot of people have been going through this. So I'm gonna lay back and I'm gonna tell y'all about what's going on. Okay, y'all. So bear with me. Please bear with me. So, y'all remember when I uploaded that video where I was crying? I was out of town on a work trip, and it was the last night of the work trip. And I never went into details about it. At that time, I felt like I did not need to tell y'all about it. I knew what I needed to do to fix the situation, but I was like, no, I don't think I need to say nothing to them about what's going on specifically yet. But I ended up praying on it weeks ago because I was just like, a lot of people have actually been going through this lately. I just didn't think it would happen to me. But let me start from the beginning and tell y'all what was going on. I'm still trying not to be before you very long, but I want to give y'all details about what happened and what I'm doing. So, like I said, I was on this work trip, and the last day of the work trip, we had all kinds of trainings and stuff that we needed to attend. So, I had already been made up in my mind, like before breakfast, meaning before we even did the first training, sat in on the first session, all of that stuff, that I was not going to dinner that night. And I told one of my coworkers, and so she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going." So as the day progressed, our supervisor said something about dinner, and the whole time I'm saying to myself, "Well, I don't really care nothing about what they doing. I ain't gonna be there, so whatever." So old girl, my coworker, was like, "You heard what she said, right?" And I was like, "I'm not going, so I don't I don't know why you asked me if I heard what she said, girl. It don't matter what she said. I ain't going." So then she said something about it again. I don't know what that was about, but she ended up mentioning the dinner again. So then the girl was like, you might need to show up. I don't think you can miss this." And I'm saying to myself, "Girl, oh, okay." But on the inside, I was like, "Girl, I ain't going, so I don't really care." So I went back to my room because I was done with everything I was going to do for the day. And the last thing that was on the itinerary was the dinner. And I'm like, I got me an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever left. And I'm going to sit up in here and I'm going to soak my body and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm just like, "Girl, I don't care nothing about what y'all talk about." So while I'm soaking and all this other stuff, I start thinking about it. I'm like, well, let me make sure I check with our supervisor to make sure that it's okay, that it ain't gonna be no issue, cause I don't want them to be looking for me and then I end up asleep and then they can't get to me because in my mind that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna soak in the tub for however long, get up out the tub and do all that stuff, after I've showered obviously, and prepare myself for bed, take me a little nap, finally watch something because I hadn't watched nothing since I was there. Like I had so many different things I could have been watching. Like I literally was there from the start of what my work week was at the time until leaving out the day of my last day of my work week. So I was there for my whole work week essentially. And stuff been like I normally watch stuff. Um Things be that came on or whatever. So I ain't watched nothing. Child, I ended up checking with the supervisor. I texted her and was like, "Yeah, I wasn't planning on going. Um, we're not needed to go to this dinner, right?" So she eventually texted me back and was like, "It is required. Everybody must attend." I'm like, "For what?" Y'all, I was so mad. I was just like, I don't even understand why I gotta be present. Like, I'm good. I got some spring water. I've already eaten. I had already eaten that morning. I had already been eating bad. They had moments where they had some healthy stuff. So whenever I could, I had healthy stuff. I had forgot. I was in such a hurry. I forgot all my stuff because I was gonna drink my herbal teas and everything. I was gonna bring my electric kettle from home. Like I had a whole plan, but I ended up packing my bag so late. I don't know what that was about because I already knew, like y'all, I had everything set aside. I knew exactly which outfits I was gonna wear and everything. I knew which pairs of shoes I was gonna put in the bag. Like all I had to do is put it all in there. And all of my teas are in certain areas. My kettle is in a certain area, so it's not like I was gonna have to hunt nothing down. So I don't know why that happened like that. Y'all, it's so crazy that even if I would have packed my herbal teas and forgot my tea kettle, they had one in my room. I have never went to a hotel and they had a tea kettle in there. They had an electric tea kettle in there. I was like, I still would have been able to make my teas. Anyway. So now I'm like, dang. So I'm sitting up here, I'm over here getting ready for it, dreading it the whole time. Ended up meeting downstairs so we can go and start driving over there to where it was gonna be, whatever the venue was. It was a really nice area, really nice place we went to. The food was really good. The ambiance, like everything about it, the live band, everything was really, really nice. We had a good time. Somebody from our job actually won an award, and it was so crazy. I caught her speech and everything. She asked me to send it to her, and I did. Like, it was really nice. But I did not want to be there. I did not feel right. I didn't know what it was, but I was just like, I don't want to go nowhere. And then I ended up having to leave. So we eventually end up going back to the hotel. And I retired for the night. I'm like, dang. I don't have really much to do packing wise. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I went on ahead, packed my stuff. And then when I was done doing that, I sat on the bed. I said, let me sit down. Someone told me to sit down. I ended up sitting down. Then, after a few minutes, something told me to stand up. So I'm like, okay. So I stood up, and as I'm about to stand, I'm like, yeah, let me just go ahead and go to the bathroom while I'm up. I ended up standing up, right? And when I stood up, this is going to sound crazy, disgusting, everything in between, but this is what happened. I stood up, and all of a sudden, I just started peeing. I did not have to go to the bathroom prior to that. And I went from being 100% confused, like, why in the world am I peeing in this moment, to feeling embarrassed, even though I was in there by myself, feeling sad, depressed, overwhelmed, crazy. Like, it was just every emotion that you could think of was going through my head at the time. And I started crying. And I was just like, why is this happening to me? Crying down, like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this is happening. Crying. Y'all, after I finished peeing, I remembered that I had a towel on my bed from when I had massaged my feet earlier. Earlier that day, we had a break in between, like, one of the sessions that we had. And I was like, oh, that'll give me enough time to go upstairs and soak in this tub. I had been saying I was going to soak in that tub. That tub was really, really nice and big. Oh, it was nice. I ended up soaking. My body needed it. I had already walked, like, okay, I'm not in any condition to do no hardcore exercising or much of anything right now. Y'all know I've been battling a lot because I've had so many people dying all around me. So I have been eating my feelings. I'm an emotional eater. I am a food addict. So I ended up packing on like 40 plus pounds over the course of like 3 months since all this stuff had been popping off left and right. Just eating my feelings, eating my feelings, eating my feelings. Packed it on really, 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 really fast. And I already knew that I needed to get back on track, which is why I had been struggling so hard to get back on track prior to this. I had been dry fasting. I had been fasting normally, where you just consume water. For me, it was just regular spring water, or I was doing spring water with the herbs added to it from Crystal Alkaline Doula. in the mornings before I would drink that particular tea, I would make key lime, cayenne pepper, agave, ginger root, and cinnamon and cloves, with spring water as the base, I guess you could say. 8 ounces to 16 ounces. I don't know why. I just randomly started incorporating that in my daily regimen. Excuse me. Got the hiccups. And I would drink that. I would drink that hot to warm. And this was before it started getting cold and doing whatever it wants to do. You know, it's cold in the morning and warmer as the day progresses. Like before that even happened, it was still like hot outside when I started doing this. And I was just like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to do it like this and, you know, whatever. Tell me why. Oh, so yeah, I was telling y'all all that because I had been fasting. I've been trying to detox. I've been trying to do all these other things. Prior to this and everything that happened with my mom and me finding out about my mama a couple of years ago, I told y'all I had gone alkaline. Everything had gone well with that. I was easily motivated. It did not take nothing. I could walk through a store where they was cooking my favorite meal and I wouldn't be phased. Like none of that. Didn't care about none of that. I didn't care. It didn't faze me. I don't care. Now, I would be at work daydreaming about a seafood boil, a piece of pizza, a piece of cheesecake, anything that was my favorite. Y'all, my downfall, one of my favorite things in the world are potato chips. My mama pointed that out to me and I said, you know what, you're right. I had to sit back and think about it. I was like, you are right. I live for potato chips. It's crazy. So, yeah, with all the weight that I had been gaining, I thought about what happened to me in that moment when I just froze. Now, also, I need to add, because y'all probably like, girl, what you got, incontinence or something? No, I don't have incontinence. What happened was I'm having issues with my uterus. My uterus is not in place anymore. And it is a direct result of me gaining so much weight. Never had this issue before all this weight got on me like this. And I forgot if I told y'all or not, but I mean, I'm like I said, I'm being transparent with y'all. I weighed myself and my heaviest to date is 405 pounds. I'm happy to report that I'm down 10 pounds since the last time I checked myself. I've been trying. It has not been easy. But the other day, I said to myself, I really feel like I've lost some weight. But I wasn't sure. And I was like, I need to see for myself if what I'm feeling is what it is. And I went in there and I got my scale. And I got on there, y'all, I could have cried. I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And even though I wasn't working out and doing as much as I should, I still felt like I lost something and it was 10 pounds. So I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. So that made me feel really good. I did share the news with the people that are on my social media page, which are, you know, my family and friends and all that stuff. But in order for me to combat what's going on with me, y'all, I already know that I have to do, I forgot the correct pronunciation. I don't know if it's Kegels, whatever. I used to do that all the time. I actually used to have like 2-3 sets of the balls, which is, y'all gonna laugh at me. I'm just the type of person where, well, y'all might not laugh. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm very particular when it comes to things. So at the time when I purchased these balls, I had them and I was with my ex. And for me, I'm always trying to think ahead. I'm always trying to make sure, like, I don't even want to ever be caught slipping. Let me do this. So I bought the balls and I would be at work and be doing the exercises and all that stuff with the balls inside. Didn't need them. That's the crazy thing, y'all. It was something. They were like weighted balls. I don't know if any of y'all have ever had them, but the ones I had, they were coated in silicone so that they could be easily cleaned and all the other stuff. But you could hear and feel whatever little bell or whatever was in it, the weighted bell. So you could tell it was in there. And it had like a little pull silicone part that you could remove and clean and all this stuff. Anyway, but I had two different ones. And so I could use the bigger one or I could use the smaller one. I'm extremely tight. So that's why I was saying what I was saying prior to this, because I did not need it. I don't need it for vaginal tightening. I'm thankful. That's something I've never had to struggle with. I'm extremely tight. I have no issues with wetness. If you need me to tell y'all about things y'all can do naturally or whatever to get wet, I can tell you. And I can tell you some things that your partner should be doing to help you get there as well. Because I had gone through a time when I was with my ex where I was under the impression that I needed lubrication and I didn't. So lubrication was being purchased. It started being purchased. And I had to use that or I had to use coconut oil. And it's like I've never had that issue ever in life. Like usually I'm wet for no reason. Nothing can be happening and I'm just wet. And I'm not trying to be vulgar. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm just being honest. This, to me, stuff like this is not taboo. Sex is not a taboo subject to me. And I think that there are some people who grew up in a time or grew up in a way where it kind of makes them standoffish. But for me, that's just never been something that I felt should be taboo. So that's why it just comes naturally for me to talk about it. So sorry if I'm offending anybody. I'm really not trying to. To me, it's just normal. But again, if you need help with that, I can tell y'all some things that you can do naturally. And it's some things that are going to seem like, oh, these are trends that you heard about on TikTok. No, baby, these are things I've been doing because it's healthy to do. But people been catching on lately because they dry out here. And they ain't drinking enough water and they ain't doing the things they need to do. And they just ain't got it like that naturally like I do. It just is what it is. Anyway, back to what I was telling y'all. Again, I'm not trying to read nobody. I'm just saying, like, the truth is the truth. So anyway, so my uterus is not in the right place. It can go back into the right place with Kegels, however you pronounce it. Certain uterus teas that Crystal Alkaline Doula has. So yeah, and they would essentially strengthen my uterus. So yeah, a lot of these herbal teas help with things like that. But for some reason, there has been an amazingly large influx of women who have been having this issue lately. And I did not understand. Like for months, I would see people coming in and questioning stuff literally directly connected to that. And I'm like, what is going on with everybody's uterus? Like, what is going on? But it's something going on. I don't know why. I know for me, the connection was me gaining weight. Other people, it could have been it's easily happening because of something that, you know, went the way it went with your pregnancy. Like, it's so many different things. But for me, it was directly because I gained weight. And me losing weight, being active and all that stuff and doing Kegels and drinking those teas are going to get mine back to where it needs to be. I typically, when it's been the worst off, I would have this pulling that just me walking normally just to get up. Like if I said, oh, I'm going to get up and go walk across the room to go do something in the office. I'm halfway dead. I'm over here fighting for my life. But I'm not saying that because I don't want to scare nobody. Because everybody already looking at me like, girl, you need a doctor. And girl, you need this and you need that. Because they'll see me eating fruit. Like they'll see me only eating fruit or only drinking my tea or I'm dry fasting. And I'm just like, I've been here before. I'm very aware of how all of these things go, and I know how to safely do these things. I know how to do all of this stuff without running the risk of me passing out or whatever because my body is deprived of food or whatever might be going on. And a lot of people just don't understand that there are a lot of vegetables and fruits that have protein in them and all the things they swear you can't get unless you eat meat, and it is completely a lie. So, but yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Like for me, my eyes have been opened to the fact that a lot of these doctors do not care about you. They care about keeping their bank accounts extremely swollen with your money by keeping you sick and pumping you full of drugs and poison that ain't benefiting you in the slightest, but it's definitely benefiting them. That's why a lot of the times you'll go to the doctor, whether it's for a checkup or because something going on, and they'll have a new drug. They'll be like, "Hey, we're giving out samples for this," so they'll let you try it out for free because they trying it out and getting your body hooked on the foolishness and creating a whole nother situation within you so that they can put you on other medications. Like a lot of people ain't caught on to that. I'm glad that there are people who are coming forward with this knowledge, people who are coming forward who were not honestly aware that this was going on in the medical field that they got into, but they like, oh no, let me step away because I'm not in the business of killing my people and hurting my people. But that's what's been going on. But yeah, I know a lot of y'all gonna think I'm crazy because of all this stuff going on with me and still think I need to go to a doctor, be in an emergency room and all that other stuff. But no, had I been bleeding out, yes, that would have been the time I would have called 911. Like it would have to be an extreme situation, what I deem to be an extreme situation for me to say, okay, I'm gonna go to a doctor, I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to a specialist, I'm going to the emergency room. That's the only way. But because I do so much research and because I pay attention to a lot going on, that's the only reason why I knew what was going on. And so I've been healing myself and I'm almost done. And that's why I wanted to come before y'all and tell y'all what was going on. But it was very scary in that moment because I've never dealt with anything that was like right there happening to me that made me be like, I might need to be taking an ambulance ride. Like me contemplating, do I need to get in an ambulance right about now? I have definitely had cancer, found that out, but it was stage 1, was able to beat that and all that stuff right there, still in remission. And, it is what it is. So I know that the things that I do work, changing my diet, meaning the foods that I eat, and making everything into an amazing lifestyle change. So it is what it is when it comes to that, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If y'all have any questions, I can answer. I will answer them for you if I get the notification. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Sometimes I don't even be knowing nobody that anybody said anything to me because I don't know. I don't be getting the notifications. I'm just like, I got all the stuff set. Sometimes I'll literally have to click on the video after I've already uploaded it and see that somebody said something to me. Like I just responded to somebody who said something to me about a month ago and I didn't even know they said nothing. So, but yeah, again, thank y'all so much for y'all's love, prayers, and support. My mother did not go through with the surgery. I don't know what's going on with that, just to give y'all a little update on that. But I will keep y'all updated. She is still planning to get it to my knowledge. I'm hopeful that she'll say, no, never mind, and let me do my magic on her. Um, but, I'll have to pray hard that happens. But anyway, y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all next time.